Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today is January 15th, 2026. It's been a privilege to be part of this community for almost 6 years of Torah every single weekday morning. To be with friends from all over the world like Penny and Bruce, Susie and Adele, Neil and Lydia and John. Good to see all of you. I hope that all of you are safe and well. Jonathan, Boker Tov, Arlene, Judy, good morning to you all. Neil, 2 Neils in one broadcast. What a gift. Good to see you. Lisa and Linda, Boker Tov. It is broadcast 1470. What a gift to be able to share such a moment with all of you. Karen and Rose, Patricia, Jerry, and Camille, good morning. Hi, Scott. Hope that you're well. In a second, we're going to sing a bracha. We'll learn Torah as we have every single day since March 18th of 2020. Sandy, it's good to see you. Cecile, Arlene, you're walking around in Jerusalem. Thank you for carrying us with you. That is a very meaningful gift. Robin and Eileen, Michelle, Joyce, good to see you. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Amy. Karen, nice to see you. Okay, let's take a breath. We'll sing a bracha. We'll learn some Torah. Here we go. Everybody. Joy, you said your husband is going in for spine surgery. You've gotten a lot of refuah shlemas and well wishes from everybody on Instagram. I'm sure that everybody on Facebook is joining in on that. Let's get straight to the Parsha. There's a lot happening in the world, but let's focus on Torah today. So in Parshat Vaera, as we spoke about earlier, yesterday and before that, we see the beginnings of the plagues, and we know this story, but it's good to take a few steps back before that. Moshe, who eventually is Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe our teacher, is having doubts about his own capacity to lead. Now, that was true when he first encounters God at the sneh, at the burning bush, but it happens again here because he's tried and he's failed. How many times, friends, have you and I tried something only to see something that mattered to us not move forward? In other words, to fail. We don't talk about how important it is to fail. How else do we possibly learn? How do we get better at the things that matter most to us and likely to others? So Moshe, after saying, no, not me, tries with Pharaoh. Pharaoh makes the work harder for the Israelites. And then they have another conversation, God and Moshe, where Moshe says, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Uchvad lashon, I am heavy of tongue and arel sfatayim, and of uncircumcised lips. And most people see that as Moshe backtracking, but it is also possible to understand, as many do, that he actually had some kind of speech impediment, as Rashi believes he did. And how blessed we are to be in a world where there are techniques that help us grow often our capacity to form words correctly. But Moshe is a great communicator at the end of his life, and here he actually has something that's causing him trouble. And God says, "Don't worry, I will put the words in your mouth." Moshe continues to protest. He can't do it. So God says, "Don't worry, I'll send Aaron, your brother, to be your Navi, to be your spokesperson." Navi is often translated as prophet, but for us to understand the purpose of a Navi in the Torah and in the Tanakh is actually to be a spokesperson for God to the people, or from people to God. The Navi is the link, the communicative link between the people and God. Well, for Moshe to have his own Navi, his own communicator, tells us something essential. And I know it's going to sound simple as I say it, but I want to make sure that in our complicated world, we remember that even Moshe, even the great Moshe Rabbeinu, couldn't go it alone. Some of that was self-doubt, it's true. And God had to say, "No, you're the one to do this task. You actually can do it." But for us to take seriously the story itself, not just the interpretations that we have become so good and fluent at, but to understand that Moshe actually needed help. He couldn't do it himself. For Moshe to stand again before God and say, "Look at the way I speak. They need more. I need more. I need help," is a good lesson for all of us. Because no matter how good you are at any specific task, no matter how blessed or skilled any of us is at a specific task, we should never, ever feel like we are alone in caring about it. And so what I'd love to do is invite you to think about ways that you could invite someone else to support some of the work that you have tried and perhaps even failed at. Because if it matters enough, you should share. Moshe, I think, is a model for us, of course, of greatness, of course, of spiritual attunement, but also of being a person who couldn't do it alone. There are examples of this later after the liberation when facing Amalek, the arch nemesis of the Israelites, his arms get tired. And so Aaron and Hur hold up his arms. Well, this is a different moment, but it's connected in its theme. He couldn't do it alone. Nobody really can. Not when it really matters. Let us be blessed to know that we don't have to go it alone. And when we do ask for help, to be well met. It makes such a difference. Maybe we'll still fail, but at least we're in it together, and then we'll try again together. Let's take a breath, send our hearts to the east, and sing. Kol od balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia od lo avda tikvateinu hatikva bat shnot alpayim liot am chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim liot am chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.